Hey, good morning, everyone.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Katribu. I'm Tina Maralit.
And I'm Coffee Manalo,
and this is Straight Talk.
Today we will discuss everybody's talking about digitization, and the pandemic has forced the whole world to adapt and to digitize. In fact, even in the Philippines, because of the lockdown restrictions,
yes,
enterprise or businesses were forced to adopt a digital business model.
Yes.
And even ordinary citizens has to adopt a digital lifestyle. Unfortunately, our guests for today, we have two of coming from the banking sector, but this particular bank is a leading
in a digital innovation.
Digital innovation. In fact, they have been spearheading.
Yeah, and they've been awarded so many times of being the best
digital banks
bank
in Asia.
Yes.
So let us introduce our guest today, Tina.
Yes. Do the honors?
Yeah, I'll do the honors. We have Michelle Rubio, the Chief Human Resource Officer, and Mr. Ramon Mon Duarte, Head Transaction, Banking and Platform Development of UnionBank.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sir Ramon, and good morning, Ma'am Michelle.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
Very good. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you for having us today.
Yeah,
and thank you for taking time to be with us today as well.
Yes. So, start the ball rolling.
So, that's for the first question. I've visited your headquarters in Ortigas before the pandemic, of course. And before, I noticed that you had a blockchain academy in Ortigas, where you trained several students to about blockchain and AI and data sciences. But now you are, I think 2 weeks ago, you inaugurated or broke this innovation campus in San Pedro, Laguna in partnership with Indian Holdings. So what will happen now to the Blockchain Academy in Ortigas? Will this be integrated to the new academy, innovation campus?
Yeah, so we do have a blockchain academy that is being run today by our Blockchain Center of Excellence. So our Center of Excellence is in charge of R&D experiments that we have on blockchain innovations, as well as running the academy to promote blockchain education. So when we went to the plaza at that time, UBP Plaza, our headquarters, we did have a space there for our blockchain academy, because at that time we had to train about 100 blockchain developers.
Wow.
So we see blockchain training happening continuously, not just in Ortigas, but in our innovation campus moving forward. So definitely a lot of blockchain training will happen, as we are continuously doing blockchain training today.
Before we started, you mentioned that this Innovation Academy will, of course, be a center of innovation in fintech, and you will cater. Most of the students of this innovation campus will be coming from your office and your partners, clients. So, how will this setup go about?
Yeah. We're setting up the... Michelle, would you like to go ahead?
Go ahead, Monica.
No, I was just going to say, sorry, Michelle. Yeah, I was just going to say that the Innovation Campus is really a multi-purpose center. No? Anything related to innovation, development, training of our people, upskilling, whether it be running programs or new versions of programs like the Blockchain Academy, and other disciplines, whether it be working with customers, whether it be running, more formal training programs. That will be the center of it all, no? And that's really why we've built out this facility in San Pedro. So we see it as our center for all innovation activities. Innovation is innovation has been really a way of life for us at UnionBank, and it has a lot to do with how we have accelerated and responded to the challenges, particularly the pandemic, but even before the pandemic, of the digitize, the challenge to digitize. Now we really have this theme of digitize or perish. So, a big part of that is innovate. How do you innovate the banking business, right? And in response to the digital challenge, right? So to develop a lot of skills and expertise in that space, we know we need to do more of it. We know we will want to continue to do it on an ongoing basis. It's never over. And we want to kind of like set it up so that even working with our customers, partners, and to some extent, public sector and the general public, diba? We want to have that kind of ability. So we built this out really in San Pedro to be the hub for that.
So when are you expecting for this innovation campus to open, to start its operations?
Well, we broke ground a couple of weeks ago. Actually, a couple of weeks ago was the formal groundbreaking, no? But we had already some beginning work, no? It's a completely new structure. It's a campus-style facility. That's why we call it a campus. No? Parang the feeling we want is an open space,
Yes.
more greenery, diba? These are not high buildings. It's just not high-rise, no? So more low. So that makes it easy to kind of like build this out. We have a multi-phase approach to it. So we're starting with phase 1, and we expect that to be done by first quarter next year and ready for move-in siguro by towards the middle of the year. So it's actually not that long when you think about it, no?
Yes.
But we've started work and we're super excited about it.
So the upskilling, you mentioned that the upskilling will be multidiscipline. So is it correct to assume that the innovations and the upskilling that will happen in that innovation campus will be different and will cater to the different needs of your partners and clients?
That's right. Yeah, that definitely. So the space will be not just a space, but because it's a campus and we're setting it up differently, it will promote creativity in thinking, innovation, because it's a better space, right? And it's open. You have a lot of greenery there. So hoping that people who will be going there would be inspired to innovate. Using some of the immersive technologies that we're looking into today, like use of not just blockchain, we talk about blockchain, but definitely data science, AI, cloud technology. We have RegTech, RPA, robotics. We're looking into other immersive technologies like VR, virtual reality, augmented reality. So it can go on and on as technology advances. We are thinking of how can we use this to help our customers and society in general.
So lahat naiisip na ng UnionBank?
Yeah, of course. The most important part here is the application of all these tools like blockchain, RegTech, fintech, robotics, and virtual reality and AR. So, how will this campus encourage the innovations towards application of these disciplines to our daily lives?
Yeah, some of this technology that we're talking about are already very real. To put it in the context of our business at the bank, Michelle mentioned robotics, You might think right away of some humanoid robot. Although we also have a humanoid robot in our branch walking around, if you haven't seen him. What do we call him again? But we have a name. Eve. Eve. Yeah, we have Eve in a few of our branches walking around. But robotics takes a much more practical use right now in helping automate a lot of our processes. So robotics in that case is used to parang simulate a human person on a computer doing processing tasks which are not yet, let's say, fully automated, but in fact require somebody to do some key entry and download, extract, calculate, and we use that very heavily to provide end-to-end digital experiences. we keep on talking about AI and data science. That's
Yes.
very critical in many of the things we do today when it comes especially to our credit, no? Credit scoring applications. No? So nowadays, the way lending is going, it's no longer what collateral and what income statement can you show. It's really, there are many ways of determining a credit worthiness or accessing, and it's fantastic because it opens up new ways of lending, right? And it allows us to service Filipinos who before have not had access to credit. No, so this is a very exciting area for us. All of these technologies are really much more than just hot terms or buzzwords that you might see today. These are real things that we can apply, and that's why we're so excited, and that's why we're doing this innovation center, because there's so many ideas that we can apply this to, and we want to keep doing that.
Yeah, in fact, we've been talking about AI. Akala natin yung AI, diba? Yung parang yung sa Terminator. Pero the most, actually, we're already seeing the applications of AI, particularly machine learning features niyan, diba? In fact, when you use Facebook, social media,
Instagram.
Yeah, if you click, say, a shoe, an advertisement about shoes, you'll see on your newsfeed,
Ang dami agad. Yes. And it doesn't matter if you go on Facebook, on Twitter, or Instagram. Once you click on one thing, when you go from one platform to another, it's all there. Kaya sometimes people will say, "Oh my God, are they listening to us?"
That's AI.
But that's AI.
Learning from your usage
and the algorithm.
And of course, we're talking about we've heard a lot of blockchain, but I think blockchain is still underutilized. There are so many applications of blockchain that we still have to explore. So, what are the blockchain innovations that you think can be useful that we have to develop in that innovation campus?
Well, I can tell you about a couple of things that we have ongoing already now, which leverage the benefits and the value of blockchain technology. So blockchain technology, and correctly, you refer to blockchain, and you don't talk about Bitcoin or crypto, no? Because it's not Bitcoin or crypto that we're talking about. It's the underlying technology of blockchain that is the big enabler, and we currently use it in several areas right now. The more recent one, and I'll be a little bit promoting my department, or what we are using blockchain technology for, is for our financial supply chain system or facility. And what financial supply chain is essentially a system that allows regular trading partners. So you can imagine a large manufacturer and the hundreds or at least dozens of suppliers that regularly supply that manufacturer, right? And regularly therefore build them, right? And that supplier would need financing, right? And to do that, you need to have a lot of document exchange and a lot of verification back and forth. And what the blockchain does is to mitigate that question of trust. Is this documentation complete? Is this updated? Is it acknowledged by the manufacturer? Etc., etc. So we're using that right now, and it's extremely successful. We're able to use it now to approach a lot of communities around certain large companies, diba? And it's very popular, and it's an automated experience end to end. So a supplier can go in there, make a request for financing of an invoice, and within the day get approval, and it's credited the next day. And that's all made possible because of the not just automation, but the mitigation of questions of trust, questions of enforceability, etc. that blockchain, or more generically referred to as distributed ledger technology, affords us. No? And there's many other applications, and we're running 3 or 4 different other projects in the space now.
So it streamlines a lot of things. It cuts corners.
It cuts corners. It cuts red tape. It cuts a lot of processes.
And it saves a lot of trees.
We have a process. We have one implementation of it where in the process involved 27 steps, because a lot of those steps are about reconciliation, checking, verification, approval. The 27 steps became 4 steps.
Wow.
And you mentioned trust, no? So Ako, personally, one of the applications of blockchain that I want to see is in good governance.
Yes.
Record keeping sa real estate, sa registry of deeds,
Yeah.
and then of course election. Gusto kong magamit yan sa sa election.
Lalo na malapit na.
Kasi because the data in blockchain can't be hacked, it's immutable. It can't be changed. So you can actually the trust, the confidence of trust using blockchain is
in the electoral process na ano.
Yeah. And another question is, will this innovation campus allow innovations outside of fintech? As you mentioned earlier, agri-tech, you also have projects in...
Yeah, I'll start off. I'll start off and refer to Michelle, I think. Nowadays, banking is, or fintech, if you think about banking as fintech as, banking using technology. Nowadays, banking is moving away from being a separate process in itself, a discrete process, where I'm doing my business and then I'm going to do my banking. What's happening is it's becoming embedded.
Yes.
Banking is becoming part of your process. And for that reason, we need to develop expertise in these various spaces. We were talking about, we have to become experts, or we have to understand the problems of our customers and their process requirements. Whether they be in the education sector, whether they be in the healthcare sector, manufacturing, whatever it is, and even public sector, even the government sector, So really, we are doing, banking is becoming embedded in those processes, and so we need to move upstream and to some extent downstream to really be able to be relevant and to be able to provide those solutions for our customers. I don't know, Michelle, maybe you want to add something?
Yeah, and the bank is always relevant for commerce.
Yes.
So even for doing experiments for various industries, and the original use case is to help an industry, really at the back of it, you need a financial solution. We're really, when we talk about helping communities, it's really understanding the needs of the community and finding out how we as a bank can help with the solutioning in terms of their financial needs as well.
There are two words that interested me, mentioned by Mr. Mon Duarte, embedded banking. But before we delve more into that, we will take a short break and we will be right back.
Click, that's it. Never thought self-service can be this slick. Modify plans in a snap, walang hirap. It's a wrap, just tap the app. Now you can check, view, subscribe, renew. Help and support for you. Out with the ring apps are the in thing. You know what to do. Globe at home and Globe One, all in the Globe app na yan. Self-service and easy to use. Mas okay tayo dyan. Globe at home and Globe One, all in the Globe app na yan. Instant response, no hold time pa, wala nang hintayan. Download Globe at Home and Globe One app, all in the Globe app na yan.
Download the Globe One and Globe at Home apps from Google Play Store and Apple App Store now.
Download Globe at Home and Globe One app, all in the Globe app na yan.
And you're still here on Straight Talk with our friends from UnionBank. So, brother, kanina nabanggit ni Sir Mon yung embedded banking.
Yeah, I want to know.
I'm interested to know more about this. So, Sir Mon, can you delve a little deeper into this?
And if you can cite an application or example with one of the partners.
Yeah, so like I was saying, the idea behind embedded banking is that it becomes part of the process of doing business. It's not a separate activity, right? And at the same time, what's happening is businesses are digitizing their processes themselves, right? They're becoming digitized, or what's generally described as moving onto platforms. So all businesses now have some sort of portal where they can deliver their services, sort of like you guys, right? You're now delivering your information and news service over the digital web, YouTube and Facebook or whatever. No? So an example I can give you is logistics sector, no? And that's yet another sector that can very much benefit from the concept of embedded banking. And the example we have is we actually have a partnership with ShipTech, who provides a very comprehensive end-to-end logistics platform called Xlog. And in that platform, shippers, so I'm a shipper, I need something moved from here to Cebu, I want a container, I want a refrigerated container, I want an LPG type transport. I can book all of that, book the ship, book the truck, and put it there, right? Then, in this platform as well, of course, you have the shipping company, the trucking company also participating and putting in their schedules of their shipping, of their voyages, and also the trucks, for example. And in this example, these truckers who are now going to be invoicing those shippers for the services can now apply for banking financing inside the platform through a partnership of Xlog and UnionBank. So those invoice information, that transactional information, performance, historical information about those truckers, and eventually other participants in the ecosystem can now, of course, with the permission of the truckers and the participants, are now shared to the bank and can become basis for us to provide credit through FSC or through other things like yung sinabi kong alternative credit scoring systems. No? So really, it becomes embedded not just because you can choose it there, but because the information is shared directly, and that's where the value really comes.
So in the future, when you say embedded banking, you can do business, you can transact business, or you can conduct business with another enterprise with the banking services already there, without you realizing that you are engaging in a banking service from a financial sector or financial institution. Is that?
Yeah, that's really what's happening now. I think that one of the simplest examples, if you think about it, go back to how we first experienced Grab and Uber.
Yes.
It's a very simple example, no? But once we put in our cards, diba, and rolled it as our payment mode for Uber back before when they were still here, and Grab now, it became invisible to us. Wala na yung process of authorize and approve the payment, diba? You just get in the car, you go to where you're going, and when you get out, the transaction happens. That's the very beginning, the simplest, most basic example of embedded. But when the transactions become really intertwined and shared, then you're going to another level. And that's the level we're getting to now. It's quite exciting, actually, when you think about it. It's like what you're saying, internet banking today, it's a discrete activity. We go to do banking. And that will still happen because you still need to manage your accounts. No? But more and more, you will see that banking activities happening in the businesses themselves. No? So it's exciting times. And we'd like to, we are very aware of that. We're very conscious of that. And a lot of what we're doing in the Innovation Campus is really how do we get into that? How do we accelerate that? How do we take advantage of that opportunity so that we can help tech up our customers so they move onto platforms and the bank can also participate in that, so it becomes an end-to-end, embedded banking experience while they deliver their services.
Anyways, so UnionBank and Aboitiz have established a reputation as pillars of innovations and technology. This innovation campus will likely produce talents that your competitors are also looking for.
Are you not worried?
Yeah, given the given the insufficiency in supply of talents with expertise in blockchain, data science, and critical, are you not worried?
Are you not worried? Kumbaga kayo yung magti-train kayo, you know, you will be honing these talents, and then once hinog na, iba yung pipitas.
Well, that's why we're doing this. We continuously educate and train people because, you know, in the Philippines, we do have a lot of talent, and I must say we have a young population, educated, very educated, and they speak English, right? They understand, they're easy to train. And so we just have to actually do our part in making sure that we continuously find these talents, the best of the best, the brightest, and then we bring them into the organization and continuously train them.
Yeah. So in terms of innovations, I'm guessing that's UnionBank's aim talaga is for the Philippines, to put the Philippines in the innovations map. No, if not in Asia, maybe in the rest of the world. And if we talk about innovations, among the countries that we can think of is Singapore, China, and India, and among others. So how close are we to getting there, to reaching that goal?
I think we have what it takes to compete. I think you can see that realizing from how many knowledge workers we have working abroad, and they're sought after. The Filipinos are sought after, and so I think we have a good enough base in our country to work with 40 million something Gen Z, right? And then about 30 million Gen Y. So they are all digital natives, and I think we just have to. That's why we're also working with the education sector, different schools, different universities. We're engaging with them and telling them that this is what we're doing. These are the technologies that are coming up in the banking industry, and is there a way wherein we can work with you so that we can train some of your students who are interested in these kinds of technologies. And that's why we build Accelerator. That's another program. We're working with various universities to also teach and tech them up. We've had about 5,000 students, 5 years, and still growing. Many students interested in acquiring new knowledge on tech.
Yeah, nabanggit kasi ni Miss Michelle, diba? Gen Y, Gen Z. Sabi ko, doon tayo nabibilang sa henerasyon na Y and Z.
I've no doubt that UnionBank can do it because they were able to innovate or introduce technology.
Yes. Way ahead of the others.
Improve the most in two industries that have succeeded in not accepting change, like the cement industry and of course logistics. They were able to apply blockchain and data sciences in those industries that have not changed for hundreds of years already. So,
yun. So, tas nabanggit din ni Miss Michelle kanina, like, they're coordinating or in partnership with schools and universities. And nakikita nga natin, diba, like, there are a lot, like, mga high school students, grade school students, yung mga nag-champion sa robotics contest and other stuff na tech and math related, na parang wow, anong utak meron tong mga batang to, ang gagaling. And I'm pretty sure that once this innovation campus is full operational, marami tayong makikitang ganon na matutulungan pa nila.
How about infrastructure? Do we have the required infrastructure to achieve this goal of becoming a tech hub in Asia,
especially with the internet
connections?
Well, if you read the news, right, today, fortunately, the average speeds of broadband and not just speed but penetration is increasing significantly. That's also perhaps been boosted by the pandemic, as we all had to work from home and study from home, diba? So that's continuing. We have a third telco player in the market now. Hopefully that will help with that, and that's a big piece of it, no? As far as infrastructure for our innovation center, that's part of the reason why we're located in San Pedro, which is just outside technically Metro Manila, right? It's close enough to have all access to all of these telecoms facilities, and even access. It's right. Our facility is right by the highway, no, the SLEX, and so it's quite accessible. Beyond that, really, what's really most important is the, creativity and the willingness of the practitioners. And as Michelle was saying, Pinoys can do it. One thing I failed to mention, by the way, kanina, with the XLAG experiment or project, is really that that's 100% Filipino built. There's no foreign software or technology being used there. No, it's 100% Filipino built. And it's actually caught the eye and caught the interest of quite a few, major logistics players overseas. So it only goes to show that we can do it. And this is really, why UnionBank really feels now's the time to kind of push this whole thing of teching up. And that's why we have a program which we call Tech Up Pilipinas, which we've had now for a couple of years now. And that's really the umbrella. That's really the umbrella program under which all of these things that we are talking about today kind of fit under. Has many tentacles coming out of it, and many projects that we're doing in that space. But that's really the spirit of it. We've done this in many cases. You were talking, Tina, about students. We used to run, and we will probably run again, hackathons. Michelle knows this very well. Michelle, how many did we run again nationwide?
Over 20 nationwide. Yeah, and we've been going from north to south, discovering talent through hackathons and solving weekend problems. Quite interesting.
How many talents have you discovered?
We had students coming in. We would run the program, and we would put up a problem. Many of them had to do with problems on environment, problems on education, problems, how to solve the challenges for the agri sector. And we had, I think at one of our hackathons, we had over 600 or even more. So it's very successful. So that's all part of it.
So it only goes to show that the Philippines doesn't run out of talents talaga. When it comes to at least here sa
we just need some push or some assistance.
Yes.
And the right venue to explore creativity.
So that's what this is about, really. This is our effort to promote innovation in the space. Of course, we're trying to do it in a way that has us, that's relevant to our business. We're trying to help in this space by applying it in our business, so that not just we benefit, but our partners and our customers, suppliers, and the general communities and the communities that we impact will benefit. And that's really the whole spirit of Tech Up Pilipinas.
Yeah, this is really an exciting time for the Philippines, and to take up the whole country. Thanks to this innovation campus and initiative of UnionBank. But before we
go any further, marami pa tayong itatanong.
Pero kailangan mo nating maghanap buhay. Balik tayo sa commercial.
Manong Joe po.
At Ate Maita.
Ngayong Mayo, bahagyang tumaas ng 19 centavos per kilowatt hour ang overall electricity rates. Nakumpleto na kasi ang refund sa transmission at ibang charges na sinimulan noong Enero. Kaya ituloy-tuloy po natin ang pagka-energy efficient.
Lalo na tag-init at naka-work from home. May bright ideas tayo. Alamin natin ang konsumo ng mga ventilador para di mag-overspend kahit overtime ang mga ito.
May iba-ibang fans. Personal, stand, at industrial. Iba-iba ang konsumo, kada type at setting. Pag low ang setting, mas makakatipid. Piliin ang fan at setting na komportable sa'yo at sa budget mo.
Para malaman ang konsumo ng ibang appliances, gamitin ang Meralco mobile app. You have the power this summer.
And you're back here on Straight Talk, still with our friends from UnionBank. So, partner, may mga itatanong ka pa ba?
Yeah, kasi maraming beses na banggit niya ni Sir Moni, yung InGen and Xlog. And fortunately, ito, all Filipino company. Yung software nila, yung technology na were developed by all Filipino crew. So, what attracted you to Xlog? Why does UnionBank have several partnerships with InGen? You have the Innovation Campus, you have the ShipTech, the Xlog. So what makes InGen attractive to UnionBank?
Yeah, we get that question a lot. So we have been working with InGen and the founder of it, Mr. Juninyon, for quite a few years. He's actually, he will always talk about, whenever he gets a chance to share with us and speak about our relationship, he always talks about how UnionBank was his first bank when he was just getting started. And it's true, and we certainly appreciate that kind of loyalty, But it goes way beyond. It goes way beyond that. Now, what we have really seen is an alignment of vision. Let me just put it that way, So many things of that InGen is pursuing, and as driven by Mr. Inyon, really is so much so consistent with our own views. His approach to logistics. When we formed that partnership 3 years back or so, was very much aligned. He was very into the whole concept of digitizing his business, his industry. He knew logistics had to transform, and he knew he had to have partners in it, And so this is a very big part of also that we're very strong believers in the idea of co-creation. We are no experts in everything. We cannot solve the problems of our customers on our own. We have to work with our customers, because after all, they're the ones, as our vice chairman always says now, Mr. Ortiz always would say, that you have to work with the people on the ground who know the impact of the problem. They're the only ones who can really, innovate on solutions for that. And that has carried on, and we've been able to execute on that relationship by having a partnership with Xlog. And now with the Innovation Campus, we find that even in terms of the design vision for the campus is very consistent with InGen. So they too, adjacent to our campus, are going to be having their own technology hub, right? And it also will be the same style. So it will be campus, low buildings, open area, greenery, as Michelle had explained. So we have that alignment. And again, it's a great example of partnership, collaboration, co-creation, and that's where we have come to this point of working with them for so long. And the latest manifestation of that is the Innovation Campus project of ours at their location.
Is your partnership or co-creation principle with InGen somehow influenced the creation of your fintech unit, UBX?
That happened, I guess, at the same time. I can't say one is directly linked to the other. UBX is much more than just I would call it more than a fintech.
Yeah,
they're actually our main technology arm now. So UBX does everything from developing their own proprietary technologies that are not necessarily aimed for the banking sector. They are also our investment unit for technology companies. It is actually through them that we made an investment in ShipTech, the owners of Xlog. But they have also made investments in many other technology companies in other areas. No, they are also a service provider. They also are equipped with a large team of very skilled developers in various technologies, whether it be again what we're talking about, the blockchain and etc. Right. So and they provide tech services for us as well. So it's a very diverse solution set, I suppose, or business model that UBX is engaged in, and it's been successful so far. And they've been recognized very recently as the fastest growing, one of the fastest growing fintechs in the region. So we're very happy about that success as well.
So, partner, I don't have any more questions about fintech. So, balik tayo. Di pa tayo ng change gear tayo.
Yeah, change gear. Medyo maglalaro tayo.
Maglalaro ng konti.
Oo. So, for Straight Talk, we always have this game.
To lighten up the mood a little.
From a serious discussion to katuwaan muna.
Kung kayo na mga napaka-technical ng ating pinag-uusapan.
Basta ito, we'll show you a series of photos and whatever the first word that comes to mind on top of your heads. That's what you're going to tell us. No explanations, no nothing. Hindi po ako yung nakaisip nito, Opo. So, is our tag team ready? I think we are ready. So, one word that comes to mind. First word that comes to mind. When you see this photo, okay, there. First photo.
Leader.
Orange.
Agree. Next photo, please.
Governance.
Okay, the governor.
How about na Michelle?
Governor.
Kasi tama naman kasi. Yeah.
If there's governance, there's the governor.
Of course. Third photo.
Innovation.
Tama. Ay, ito mga susunod partner, bala ka na.
A fourth photo.
Candidate? Question mark.
Yes.
Fifth photo.
Fifth photo, please.
Yorme.
Same question mark. Candidate.
Next photo, please.
Controversial.
Soldier.
Okay. Next photo, please.
VP.
Yeah, that's what comes to my mind. VP Robredo. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. And of course, our last photo.
President.
President. What else can I say?
Yan. So,
game naman sila.
buti naman. Sports sila.
Sports.
Anyways, maraming salamat, no?
But before we wrap up, your parting words for our viewers,
and
for
the supporters of and partners of UnionBank.
Yeah. Who goes first?
Michelle, you want to go ahead?
Okay.
And go ahead and, this innovation hub is a dream come true for us. It's a testament of our commitment to innovation, and even in a crisis, we are making investments to secure the future, our future, and also help with the future of the country. So,
Very nicely said.
Very nicely said.
And
So
further to
long,
that,
yes.
I would say that I would encourage all other Filipino companies and individuals to seek out their own ways to try to advance the advocacy, if that's what they're going to pursue it as, advance the mission of digitizing and transforming and teching up Filipinas. No, this is UnionBank's own effort. This is one of the ways we are pursuing that vision. And I think we need to all, if we're going to be successful in this vision to tech up Filipinas and make ourselves a real, force in the region and perhaps globally, then we all have to pull on this together. So I join everyone else to pursue in their own ways, how to help the country advance and to tech up. Thank you. And thank you, by the way, to Comfy and Tina today for having us over at Straight
Yes. Thank you
Thank you
for
very much.
your time.
Tina and
We learned a
Comfy.
lot.
Yes,
Wow.
and
Salamat.
and hopefully we can have you again.
Yes. To give us updates.
you.
Yeah.
Our pleasure.
Pag nag-launch na siguro yung ano, yung
Oh yeah, we hope to see that in
and
person.
if they have new launches or announcements.
Yes. Suki naman natin ang
Union
UnionBank
Bank.
here in Straight Talk.
Anyway, so
Thank you.
very much again. I'm Coffee Manalo,
This has been Tina Maralit.
and this is
Straight Talk. See you again next time.